What's going on, folks? Skirmish in general is a Seekers of Adoulin expansion battle system. There are two types, Skirmish and Alluvion Skirmish. Skirmish involves entering a battlefield to kill monsters and accomplish objectives in several different areas of the Seekers of Adoulin expansion. These objectives could be considered similar to Nyzul Isle objectives, i.e. kill a monster or kill certain monsters. With original Skirmish, you enter with a KI comprised of visage, a torso, and legs. Trading the three components to Austin in East Adoulin will yield a completed simulacrum. The type of visage piece traded denotes the location to which you want to enter the skirmish, and the higher the numbers, the greater the stone rewards. More on the stones later. The torsos control the size, time limit, and the number of enemies to defeat, basically the difficulty, but they also affect the rewards at the end of the event. The Faithful's legs control the number of noetic extensions in the event. These are helpful clickable objects in the battlefield that bestow a variety of effects. So Skirmish requires these three pieces to be traded to Austin. The weapons and the armor received from this normal Skirmish, however, aren't anything great by today's standards, since other 119 gear is so easily obtained. The better stuff, and the primary reason for this episode, is the Alluvion Skirmish armor. Alluvion Skirmish is similar to normal Skirmish when it comes to the entry KI, but instead of the three items needed, you also include a Eudaemon accessory. The type of Eudaemon accessory used will yield a certain type of monster in the battle. So, Alluvion Skirmish can be done at Cerdas Caverns, Rala Waterways, and Yorsha Weald. Cerdas and Rala will reward you with Alluvion Skirmish weapons, and Yorsha will reward you with armor. We will be focusing on the Yorsha Alluvion Skirmish for this video. So you'll want to use a Yorsha Visage, Faithful's Torso, the higher the better, Faithful's Legs, the cheaper the better, and a Eudaemon accessory of your choosing based on the type of enemy you think you'll have the easiest time fighting. The type of Eudaemon used also determines the yield and the type of upgrade stones. The types of Eudaemons, that is, are Shield gives tip stones, Blade gives slit stones, Ring and Cape give dim stones, and Eudaemon's Sash gives orb stones. Check out the video I have linked in the description for a guide on how to actually do the Alluvion Skirmish fight. It was a guide on how to get certain blue spells, but the strategy for the fight still applies. In that video I used a ring type Eudaemon, so I would see lots of elemental type monsters for the spells I needed. So now that we got the overall idea of the event and the entry for it done, let's talk about the gear itself. The sets are Yorium for Warrior, Paladin, and Dark, Acro for Warrior, Paladin, Dark, Beast, Sam, and Dragoon, Tayan for Monk, Red Mage, Thief, Beast, Ranger, Ninja, Dragoon, Blue, Core, Sayer, Puppet Master, Dancer, and Rune Fencer. Telkine is White Mage, Black Mage, Red Mage, Bard, Summoner, Blue Mage, Scholar, Geomancer. And the Helios is White Mage, Black Mage, Red Mage, Summoner, Blue Mage, Scholar, Geo. The base stats for all of these are not much to write home about, just barely crossing the threshold of C tier on my chart. It is the augments that make them B tier, and some of them can even be considered A tier when it comes to macroing in for certain situations and abilities. Let's take the Tayan Tabard as an example, and imagine you want to use it for Beastmaster. You could potentially have a B plus tier item if you got these examples of perfect augments for Beast Pet TPing. Pet Accuracy plus 25, Pet Double Attack plus 5%, Pet Haste plus 5%. The cool thing is you can have those augments on all 5 pieces possibly. Let's keep going with the Tayan Tabard example for Beastmaster while I explain the augmentation process. Each piece of this gear can have 3 augments, Snow, Leaf, and Dusk. Each of these types has 4 variations, Slit, Tip, Dim, and Orb. Take a look at this chart from bgwiki.com. This is a chart of the snow augment possibilities for the Tayan set pieces. If you want this body piece to have more accuracy for yourself, you'll want to use a Dusk Slit Stone as your snow stone of choice. If you want ranged bonuses, don't know why you would for Beastmaster, but you could, you'd choose Snow Tip Stones as your snow choice. When you go to add your snow augment, you'll trade the armor piece and the stone you've chosen to the NPC, Devani Gamani, at the Inventors Coalition. He'll also require obsidian fragments as the charge for the process to process the augment. These fragments aren't inventory items, they are just a currency that you'll have stored in the system. When it comes to obsidian fragments, you'll acquire them by trading certain normal skirmish stones, ghastly, verdigris, and wailing, to ornery dole across the street from the Inventors Coalition. You can buy these stones on the AH and trade to ornery dole. The +1 and the +2 variations of these stones will yield more obsidian fragments. You'll need quite a bit if you're going to be augmenting several of these pieces of gear, as it costs 50 obsidian fragments each time. Also, each snow, leaf, dusk stone has a normal quality +1 or +2 variations. You could potentially get a max augment with a normal quality stone, but it will be rare. So, using a +2 stone will increase your chances of getting a max stat. I would suggest when you go to augment your gear, use up all your +2 stones first if you are low on obsidian fragments, as you will get your desired augments sooner, more likely. But if you have tons of obsidian fragments and gil is your main bottleneck, since +2s are more expensive than normal quality and +1s, then use all of your normal quality stones first in case you get lucky and get a max augment early on. Also, keep in mind that the snow, leaf, dusk augments are independent of each other. Doing a leaf augment will have no effect and not change the dusk one at all. So once you have a solid augment from dusk you'll want to keep, just stop trading the dusk and move on to snow or leaf to try to max out the next one. Also keep in mind you can send this Alluvion Skirmish gear to other characters on the same account with the augments intact. You also can hold multiple of the same gear on the same character. You can have a body piece, a Taiyan body piece for Beast for TPing, and a Taiyan body piece for Beast pet ready moves. Keep in mind though, when macroing these pieces, the system might get confused as to which Taiyan tabard you want for which task. I believe there is a strategy out there for differentiating between which ones by having them in different wardrobes, but I cannot say what the macro syntax is off the top of my head. Please comment below if you know. So that about sums it up for the Alluvion Skirmish section. Please check bgwiki.com for details on how to enter the fights and fight strategies, and also charts about minimum and maximum augments for each different type of stone. I have this gear set at green difficulty and in C tier for the base gear, and when you augment them with decent augments they can go up to B tier. But if you get max augments, and especially if you are going to be using them just for unique circumstances and macros, then you could have a potential A quality gear tier here for this gear. Anyway, please ask questions in the comments if you have any questions, and like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll talk to you next time. I will probably be concluding this video series with the next two sections on Vagary and Superior Armor. Thanks a lot. See you next time.